In this video, we're going to be replacing the temperature control unit on a Frigidaire fridge. Now, this is the new unit here, and this is the old one, and its part number that you can see from there is 218841809. Now, you can't get this part anymore, but this one has failed. It does not click at all, and it's got infinite resistance on the terminal, so basically the fridge never turns on because this has failed. And I suspect it's the power head here. This is probably lost refrigerant or whatever gas they were using in here that controls the plunger inside, and that basically is what turns the switch on and off. So this is our replacement, and it's an OEM part directly from Electrolux, and this part number is 241537103. So this is what the new part that replaces it will look like. It's a little bit different with the terminal layout, but overall the knob and setting is very much the same. And you heard there that it clicked out of the off position and goes in there. So this one is definitely solid. So let's go ahead and take a look at the fridge that this is going to be going into and get access to the panel so that we can install this. So here we are with the Frigidaire refrigerator in question. And a little thing I wanted to highlight before we get to work on it is this little Arduino contraption I put together. So this is our Arduino Nano, and there's a little LED display, and it's got two wires coming out going inside, and it's being powered off of one of these little 5-volt battery banks. So what this Arduino is doing is it's monitoring the temperature inside, and then it's also using that to control a relay which will then turn on and off the refrigerator. And so this is based on the analog value of the thermistor. So if the value is above 480, it turns the fridge off. If it's below 480, it turns the fridge on. So that's the approximate temperature based on the analog reading for keeping the refrigerator cool in the refrigerator compartment. And you can see that in here. There's our piece that we need to get down, and we can see the two connections that originally went to the temperature control unit, and there's our relay that's controlling it, and then there's the little thermistor that's monitoring the temperature. So let me go ahead and get that disconnected here and then pull this down. So I've gone ahead and unplugged the refrigerator to turn off the power. Go ahead and tuck these back in there. And then to take it off, there are 4 little nuts on there, and we need a 1/4-inch nut driver to get it off. So you got 2 here and 2 in the back. The 2 on this side are short, the 2 on this side are long. So that's what you need to keep in mind when putting it back together. So this one off. And when pulling this out, you want to have it down some, and then you want to pull straight. In the meantime, we will also disconnect the plug here, because that is going to the fridge, and we'll just pull straight. There we go. Because in the back is your drain for the evaporator coil. And while we're here, we'll probably put a fishing thing down there and check that that drain is clear, because I am seeing some water in the bottom here. So let's go ahead and get this part inside and work on it. Alright, so here we are inside with the part. So we have our 3 wires here. We have our incoming hot, and then this is our switched output that goes to our defrost timer, which can then interrupt that if it needs to run any defrost. And then we have a little ground wire. So we're going to take this and just going to kind of get the line up and out of the way at the moment, and then we will fish that around once we get it in. So this should just clip right in here. Oops. And it goes in just like so. So that's installed. Let me put the knob in place. Trying to keep this in front of the camera so we can see. I believe that's in the off position. So. Okay. Knob in there. And we can turn it all the way to our max code setting. And that's off. And I don't know if the camera can see it, but there is a little cylinder that comes out the side of the switch there. See if we can see it later in the edit. So anyway, let's see if we can get these wires hooked up, and then we will work on stringing this around to the exhaust here from the evaporator, because that's where it measures temperature. Let's see. Go around this way. One terminal. And get this other terminal down below it. Alright, and then we need to do our ground wire. Shoot this clip on. And so there we are. There is our new switch installed. So now we need to stretch this thermostat section out. And while we're doing that, we also need to slip on this original line that went over the old one, because it helps insulate it, because we just want to measure the temperature from here. We don't want it all being in this plastic. So let's get that unwrapped, and then we'll figure that. And that's pretty much got it. There's our probe at the end, and we got our tube all the way up. So I'm going to take out these foam pieces. The easiest way is to push up from the bottom. And these are in two sections, so they can't come apart. So basically, the tube has to run from over here across this, and then it has to go down and then over and then kind of back up into the fixture here, which you can see that's where they had the end of the nub right there. Let's see how we can do this. Alright, so we got the temperature line in there. So it's in that section there, tucked up on the side here where it was before. Just have to coil the extra kind of back in here. So let's bring this back to the refrigerator. I'll check that drain and make sure it's clear, and then we will just put this in, bolt it up, turn it on, and see if it works. Alright, let's get that piece in here. What I'll do is just get it in place, plug it in, and then power the fridge up and see if at least it's making contact and powering up. Right. Yeah, that should be off. Let's plug it in. Verify it starts. Okay, it started up. That's what we want. Now usually in this case I would turn the fridge back off to put this up, but we'll be careful with the live current running through it right now. Now, that's back there. Light switch. There we are, the repair is done. So I guess I will check back later on and see how the temperature is doing and make sure that the fridge in fact turns back off. And then we'll consider this fix complete. Hey guys, Brian here. Do me a favor and click that like button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content when I post it. See you guys in the next one.